seeing you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. So I'd like for you to share for everyone how you discovered me and what made you to decide to come to see me or to come to my classes and then so forth. So we'll obviously discuss a little bit more into all that, but let's start with that.
So I heard one of my friends told me about you, and I thought, another yoga class, another teacher, I'll try it. They sung your praises, so I thought, let me go and see. And when I heard you speak to the class, I thought, this is different. And I have been to hundreds of classes, lots of different teachers, but there was something special about you and the way you taught and what you emphasised in your class. And I left the class not wanting it to end, finding the class quite difficult and challenging, but I knew it was all nourishing for my physical being, for my emotional being, for my soul, which is something that no other yoga teacher, no other lifestyle person, no other mentor has ever had that much of an impact.
Thank you. That's quite a lot of depth.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing this. And how rewarding has been? I know you said you wanted to come back. How long have you been coming to my classes? How long has it been?
Almost 2 years now, on and off. And I'd like to have come more, but life and work gets in the way.
Yeah.
But the principles remain up here. So moving things to the side, at the beginning thinking, well, the calorie burn, the sweat, you don't get this. But it's up here that you need to be fit, and you taught me how to be strong mentally in order to prioritise what's important in life without telling me what to do, which is quite a feat.
It's great to hear that.
So, for example, in your class you emphasised the breath, and I didn't understand how important breathing was, and then how to apply that in your daily lifestyle in situations of stress.
So have you recently, when we're talking about breath, have you recently had a kind of moment where you found yourself that the breath was really beneficial for you? Whether you had an interview or whether you went somewhere and then sometimes we go to doctors and we need to, or whether we go to, on the holidays, going on a plane, and it just feels like we feel very overwhelmed. So have you had an experience recently that you felt like it really worked just off the mat? Because I think we are so good on the mat, but suddenly you need to go.
And that's what's different about your classes, applying the principles to your life. So I drive a lot, so in the car, the breathing is important to control yourself if someone annoys you on the road, to help you concentrate, to help you relax and focus on the road. Equally, when you're going for an appointment at hospital or meeting with a doctor, to breathe and compose yourself so you can make the most of your 10-minute appointment or make the most of the advice that you're seeking from someone. So what I found particularly good about your class was the way you gave me clarity of thought. So using the principles you taught us or you teach through breathing improves a whole manner of things, but I'm surprised how much clarity of thought it has given me.
Yeah, I do find that breathing is, I think, one of the most important aspects of being healthy and well-being. It's something we could talk about for hours and days, But so, have you been on any retreats?
I've always been a bit intimidated to go. So after being at your classes a few times, I noticed on your website that you ran some retreats. So when I spoke to you about it, you invited me to come, and I didn't go with a friend or anyone, so I was a little bit apprehensive about what to expect, because sometimes if you don't enjoy the experience, it can go very slowly. So I did one locally, and I was overwhelmed at how comfortable I felt, not just by you, but by the whole group. And I enjoy group activities, but not so much that I want to do them all the time, but this was such a good balance. And I really took a lot from the retreat because it gave an extended period of time in which I could really listen to you and take the time to do things and ask questions throughout the day rather than a quick, short class.
Yeah. Thank you. So that's great. So are you coming back for another retreat?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I look forward to looking on the website when the next one is.
Great. So was it more for you the yoga that aspect that you like, or was it something else there? Was it nutrition involved?
Well,
was it some mindfulness? Was it something else?
It was a combination of all of it. Originally it was the yoga, but then looking at when you gave me the program of how the day would be, I look forward to the yoga in particular before I went, but when I arrived, it was the interaction with the other group members. No one was intrusive, people waited to talk, there was no uncomfortable silence. It was a lovely atmosphere, and I just couldn't get over how the atmosphere was special. And I don't quite know why. And the lunch was so inviting, and sometimes you can feel a little nervous going places, but the facilities were good, and the environment was really comfortable in which to work.
Amazing.
I was so surprised.
Yeah. So was it for you, particular in terms of when you're talking about food? Was there anything like more in a depth when it comes to food that you enjoy, or was it nourishing? Was it plant-based? Was it, what was there something that you enjoy in terms of like a lunch hour, I would say?
Yeah, I was very surprised with how little I ate and how full I felt, because I was very hungry after one of the yoga classes, and then when you introduced during your talk what types of nutrition would be provided during the lunch, and you showed us what we would be eating, and there was so much of it, I was quite overwhelmed with only having a small portion and how filling it was. And the plant base was so tasty because I do eat meat, but I didn't miss any meat or fish or condiments in this meal because it was enough.
Amazing. Did you find it like a sense of full of satiety or something? Like when you have a full of fibre and then full of nutrition and full of
and it gave me energy that wasn't heavy or.
Did it inspire you?
It did to eat better for the next few days, and I did sleep better that night.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
Great.
But your energy balls too, when you gave them with the welcome tea at the beginning in the morning, they were very filling as well, and they were very nice.
So thank you, Jennifer. And I just wanted to ask you in terms of, have you thought about in yourself? Don't know how old you are, and we don't need to discuss how old you are, but I think you look very young. Have you thought about that whatever you've been whatever you got involved, whether through the yoga, mindfulness, breathing, going on a retreat, have you thought about that this is something perhaps each sort of small sort of step that it's like you're building that small sustainable step, that it would be something for your longer life or longevity, or have you thought about it that this could actually lead to a healthy life in the future, in the older age?
If there's something I could tell my younger self, it would be to consider this, to have met you years before. But I think mentally, when I was 20, you don't even consider 21, 22, 23. You're there for now, you'll be this age and fit forever. And then suddenly 30 comes.
For me now, I feel like even 30-year-old, if they wanted to be well as a overall health, because I feel like that the health is all about as a package. There's no one thing just to be healthy. But I think if you were 30 and if you wanted to feel great in 45, 50, that's when you need to kind of start. And would you recommend my services to offerings to other people?
I would, and the way you give people room to be themselves and breathe, and it's not about the poses, there's no competition. You learn and you teach us how to control the ego, how not to overstretch, how not to push, and how to sit. To sit is I thought we just sit. But you said you sit, you breathe, you sit up. I feel I should improve my posture.
I know, exactly.
But to all we have in life is health. We come with nothing, we die with nothing, and we just need to be able to have your health. You can't buy health.
Yeah.
You can't. You can buy
your wealth is your
yes,
health.
It is.
Yeah.
Because when you're ill, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Your jewellery, your clothes, your handbag. Who cares? If you've got a headache, you don't want to sit there holding your handbag or holding your shoes or looking at the holiday you're going on, because you can't. But when you breathe properly, you can get rid of the headaches. You don't need the medication so much. You need to drink. You show people how you can live a healthy life, not through purchasing creams and products, but by living a certain way, by adapting what you have at home.
Yeah.
By you say all the time, sit down and watch TV. Do this position, and we will sit down and watch TV. And this position here, when we sit down here, Malasana, is so important. And you often joke about it, but it's a really hard one to do. But I couldn't do it a year ago, and now I can do it.
So was there anything else you would like to learn? Like, what else would you like to see because I offer health programs, sort of more longevity programs, 12-week programs, and that's where I look at the whole person. So it is mindfulness, it's yoga, it is nutrition, but it is also the change of the lifestyle. So for you, question, what would you like to learn from me more than you already learned? What is something that it would sort of support you into your sort of, not just now, into this sort of like I would say general health today, but if we think about in the future, how we wanted to maybe live a little bit longer, and how, but not just longer because that means just the lifespan, but we wanted to quality of life, which is extend the health span. So it's like a planning, we're planning ahead and we're saving money for rainy days for the future. The same thing is with the health, I think. So what is something else that you feel like right now that it will support you, but that you could take and then build those sustainable habits?
Well, what I would like to do is learn more about that in Greece. I saw that you did one of your retreats in Greece, so I think I would understand much more in the sun.
Yes.
So I would like to take more of your advice on board on one of your foreign retreats.
Okay.
But generally day to day in terms of longevity, I think I would like your more analysis of how I live and what I like to do, what you think I should improve
it's
on.
more like an individual.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your advice, having your portfolio of clients, knowing how to advise, and what you think maybe I should do more or less
It's
of.
interesting you're saying this because as much as I work with the groups, I work lots with one-to-one.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of transform people's health because you are really focusing on as an individual and then creating that sort of personalized. Right, so I think we'll stop here. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, Jennifer, for being here. It's always lovely talking to you. And I hope to continue seeing you with me and continue to support you on your health journey and healthy aging, longevity. I think that's sort of endless, and I think it's a very sort of upcoming, it's not just the upcoming word, but it's actually, there is so much out there. We're realizing that that aging is not something to be scared of. But there is so much now aspects or pillars that we can actually implement to really feel healthy in our older age. And feeling younger as you're getting older. This is the thing. So I'm hoping to support you into your own journey and then maybe being older 90, 100, still here, still teaching,
Yes.
still.
We'll do
Still-
this every 10 years.
Yes.